What is going on, guys? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about the 5 benefits that come from alternate day fasting, intermittent alternate day fasting. If this is a protocol that you want to use, if you're using it and you just want to know what advantage you have over all the other protocols, if you haven't started and you want to know what advantage this has over all the other protocols, I'm going to go ahead and break it down in this video. Stay tuned. Quickly before I start, this video is brought to you by Fledge Fitness, me. The Fledge Fitness jump rope is available now for $16.50. Aluminum handle with an ergonomic design for comfort and a swivel design for maximum speed. You can't go wrong with the Fledge Fitness jump rope. If you're going to buy a jump rope, this is the jump rope to buy. If you want to buy the jump rope, the link will be down in the description below. Now let's go ahead and jump into the video. Now, so that you know, alternate day fasting is where the threshold is in terms of what we know with the studies that we can put together to get a broader understanding of what can happen to someone when they fast longer than this time frame. We just want to put that out there first, and now let's go ahead and jump into the first thing that is beneficial when doing alternate day fasting. Accelerating fat adaptation. Yes, because fat adaptation is a compounding element. It happens if you're doing, for example, the keto diet. If you're just consuming fat and you are reducing your carb intake aggressively, then what happens is that your body becomes very adapted to utilizing fat as energy. It also happens when you're consistently doing intermittent fasting over time. And the longer your fasting windows are, the more those fasting windows compound on top of each other every single day. So if you're doing a 36 to about 48-hour fast every other day, then that amount of fasting will accelerate your fat adaptation because you're fasting for longer within the same time frame that someone, for example, that's doing the 16-8, or someone who's doing even the 24, the protocol that I choose to do. Because you're fasting for so long on a consistent basis, your body's getting much more used to using body fat as energy because it's like you're working that muscle. Think of it as going to the gym and working on your muscles. Because you're fasting for the 36 to 48 hours, you're working on your body being fat adapted, and your body's fat adaptation has different levels. You can be very fat adapted, you could be mildly fat adapted, so that's something that builds over time. Sometimes it takes years to be very, very fat adapted. So this is something that can definitely help you get there faster and increase your fat adaptation or accelerate fat adaptation for you. Number 2 is controlling your appetite. Just the same way that all of these elements compound and it helps you actually get fat adapted, it also helps you control your appetite, because what you start doing is you start controlling your hormones. You're not hungry all the time and you don't want to eat all the time because you have controlled your body. You've pulled back. If you're eating all the time, it just sends signals to your brain that you want to eat all the time. But because you're not eating for such long periods throughout the week, it actually starts to mold your body hormonally to not want to eat. It helps you get your hormones under control. Leptin will increase, ghrelin will decrease. These are anti-hormones. Ghrelin is the hunger hormone that makes you think that you are hungry or tells your body that you're hungry. Leptin is the hormone that tells your body that you are full. So you want to increase leptin and decrease ghrelin. This will definitely help you control your appetite because ADF is so long within their fasting period. It's much more aggressive than the other protocols in working you into this hormonal shift. Another benefit of ADF over all the other intermittent fasting protocols, it's that it extends your post-absorptive range. So if you didn't know, to get into the post-absorptive range, it takes about 8 to 12 hours. The post-absorptive range simply means that your body is no longer using lingering sources of energy like glucose, glycogen. Those things are depleted already. So what your body has to do is use your body fat, and then there's this hormonal shift that takes place when you're in this post-absorptive range so that your body can do this. Now, if you're doing ADF versus something like 16-8, you are doing that for a very long time. You're in this post-absorptive range for a very long time, because if it takes you 8 to 12 hours, and let's say it takes you 12 hours to get into that post-absorptive range, that means from the 12th mark all the way to the 36 or 48 mark, you're actually in that post-absorptive range, creating an effective system for your body for a very long time. Things like insulin sensitivity will improve. IGF-1, human growth hormone secretion, will improve. Your epinephrine will improve, which helps you focus. So if you want to extend your post-absorptive range as much as possible while remaining within the zone where you're not going past the limit where you get these diminishing returns, ADF can facilitate that for you. Now moving on to number 4, Calorie Control by design. Now, there's no other protocol that can make it incredibly and overwhelmingly difficult for you to get in the amount of calories that you would need to increase weight. So if you want to lose weight, ADF is probably one of the best protocols to use because you are actually fasting for such a long time that it is very difficult for you to compensate for those calories that you missed during those days that you were fasting completely, because that's how alternate day fasting works. If you fast Monday, you don't fast on Tuesday, and you fast on Wednesday, you don't fast on Thursday, so on and so forth. So for you to compensate for Tuesday, you will have to eat double the amount on Wednesday, which is going to be incredibly difficult for you to do. So by design, you are already putting yourself in a position where you are going to be at a caloric deficit. Now you have to keep this in mind that if your goals change, if you want to stay the same weight, you may have to change from alternate day fasting to a different protocol that can keep you the same weight. But if you want to lose weight, this is a really good protocol to help you control your calories simply by design of how the protocol works. Now let's move on to the fifth and final benefit of alternate day fasting. It complements every other intermittent fasting protocol better than each of those protocols. Why? Because you can always interject those protocols within your weekly setup. Now, if you do Monday through Friday alternate day fasting, you can use the 16-8 for Saturday and Sundays. Or if you do Monday through Friday, you can use 1 meal a day Saturdays and Sundays. Or if you do Monday through Friday, you can use the warrior diet, 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating, Saturdays and Sundays. You can interject these other protocols that are still very powerful within your alternate day fasting regimen to make it easier for you to do and to add variety so that you can look forward to the variety of Saturday or look forward to the variety of Sunday. All of these things will help you in the long term maintain the sustainability of the protocol. It's still beneficial to fast for 20 hours and it's still beneficial to fast for 16 hours. So because alternate day fasting gives you the most time within a fasted state, you can then interject the other protocols without any issue. But one thing that I want to say before I end this video is that please keep in mind that modified alternate day fasting is not alternate day fasting. There are versions out there that exist that tell you that you can eat 500 calories during your fasting time frame. A lot of people have used this to eat throughout the day. You can sip on something throughout the day, you can have something throughout the day, and that could actually derail you from getting into that post-absorptive range if every once in a while you're interjecting 100 calories or 50 calories here and there. So modified alternate day fasting is not what I'm talking about. The benefits come from true alternate day fasting where you do not eat at all during those times when you're supposed to be in your fasting window. Now, of course, I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, and I'm going to go ahead and put their names right up here. And of course, as always, guys, I'll see you on Wednesday for another FAQ. Peace!